sleep is a tremendously important function that most of us do for about a third of our life. What's amazing about sleep is, in the last year, really for the first time ever, the scientific data showed how sleep worked and what it did. That we create millions to tens of millions of connections a day of neurons, and at night they're paired back, enabling memory to happen during the day. So you miss a night of sleep, essentially you can't connect the new connections, and it's almost like being drunk. What you're gonna see now is a new technology that really frees initially the patient in the hospital, so they don't need wires to measure things, and then we'll transition to the patient at home to monitor. And so this technology, to me, is exciting because it really allows each of us at home to start to measure it. I have one of these devices they sent me, and unfortunately, my son took it as soon as it came to our house, and he's showing me his sleep data and how his deep sleep data and his heart rate during sleep on his iPhone. And it really was a powerful message in that we can now control our own variables. And so we're going to give a demonstration of this technology. And I'd love to welcome Dr. Karissa Price-Rico to the stage to educate us. Good morning.
See you.
You too.
So are you willing to be my guinea pig for this demo, please, Dr. Argus?
I do whatever you say.
Excellent. Well, please, now the doctor becomes the patient.
Well, maybe I'll...
Indeed, let's tuck you in. So I need you to lay flat, head back, put your legs right in the center of the bed. Perfect.
Okay. Is it going to hurt?
Is it comfortable? It's not going to hurt.
Okay.
Never going to touch you. You're going to be fine. I promise. So I am from a company called EarlySense, and we're here to demonstrate a contact-free continuous monitoring system that we've developed. As you can see, no wires, nothing is touching the doctor's body. He's laying in bed, which, as he said, most of us do at least a major portion of our day. So first, I'm going to share some good news and some bad news. The bad news is, while we're sitting here today, 1,000 people will die in US hospitals from adverse events. That's right, 1,000 people. Adverse events means they shouldn't have died. Had their clinicians known that they were deteriorating, that there was something going on with them, they could have prevented that death. The human factor is obviously a huge outcome that we'd all like to, I'm sure, collectively avoid. The financial impact is quite startling as well. $19.5 billion are spent in the US healthcare system from adverse events. The bulk of that is actually $17 billion directly associated with additional medical expenses. Another $1 billion increased mortality rates, lawsuits, things like that. And then another $1 billion is actually wasted on worker productivity. This is taking its toll on our healthcare system. So what's the good news? As you can see, Dr. Agus is lying here, right? This is continuous monitoring, and I'm about to show you the data that's being collected for him, just lying right here on this bed. We do it in 40 hospitals across the US right now, as well as internationally. It's an FDA-cleared device that is capturing his heart rate, his respiratory rate, and his movement as he lies here in bed. So you can see on the screen now, heart rate, respiratory rate, and if he was moving, you would actually see that as well. So this is FDA-cleared. It is highly accurate, within 5 BPMs for accuracy on heart rate, 2 respiratory breaths for respiratory rate. And from this monitoring in a hospital or in the post-acute environment, we can actually capture respiratory rate depression from opioids. We can capture sepsis and actually give the clinicians an opportunity, a heads up, a warning that this person is septic and you should continue your care protocol. Falls risk management, a huge issue in hospitals today, am I wrong? We allow, with this data capture and our alert system, nurses 2 minutes to get into the room with the patient. So if he were going to pretend, right, he's going to get up, this would start flashing red at their nurse's station, so they can actually get into the room and help that patient before they end up on the floor. Traditional methodologies, something on the floor, by the time that patient's stepping on it, it's too late. By the time the nurse gets there, they've already fallen. So this is what this kind of approach to monitoring can be, and we believe that it should be a care protocol in every hospital bed. Right? Today, in most hospitals, people in the med-surg ward or the general ward aren't monitored at all.
Where's the device?
It is underneath the mattress. So that's why you see no wires, nothing is taught. It's underneath the mattress, and we're able to capture heart rate, respiratory rate, and movement under any mattress except for a waterbed. So I don't think waterbeds are too common in hospitals these days, not even too common at home, right? So that's the beauty of this. And so imagine this is happening now today in hospitals and post-acute facilities. Providing that data so clinicians can have a dialogue, right? So when a nurse calls you and says, I think patient X is not doing well, what's your first question as a doctor?
What's their pulse? What's their blood pressure?
Exactly. Continuous monitoring provides the data for you to have a meaningful conversation with that nurse to say, you know what? Here's actually why I think patient X is not doing well. Here's why I think you should come, doctor. I think we have a change. So the ability actually here to actually impact real clinical outcomes that we all care about, right? So 86% reduction in code blue events by using this technology. 86%. So remember I said 1,000 people are going to die today? 860 of them could have been saved if they were in a hospital using this technology. 45% reduction in transfers back to ICU. So these are unplanned transfers. 10% reduction in length of stay. 43% reduction in falls from the bed. That's what we've seen in the hospitals. We did our clinical studies. This is published in a journal. But our current hospitals who have this technology are seeing even results better than that. So as you can see, we'll see back to the data, our doctor, now patient, is doing quite well. You're healthy. This is good, right? Now imagine with me, if you will, for a moment, this data coming from the home. Right? The ability to send someone home from a discharge, whether it's from a hospital or post-acute, the home version is just a small round disc that goes underneath the mattress. And to be able to have this kind of data stream to do new paradigms of care. So we're working with Google, Verily. You saw her yesterday here. We're one of 3 sensors they chose for their baseline study. We're working with IBM on new paradigms of care. What can you do with this data to create new ways to care for people and keep them at home and keep them healthy? And so just to give you a taste of what's possible here, at the end of last year, with the same sensor that he's lying on, the same data stream, we were able to release a ovulation prediction solution for women. So heart rate is correlated with a woman's monthly menstrual cycle, and we can give her a 6-day window of ovulation so she can plan her life and plan her family the way she wants to. So if we can do that for fertility, imagine what we can do for chronic heart failure, for COPD, for other things, and really treat someone at home and take care of them in a proactive way. So I want to thank you for being my patient for today.
I want to say that I was first introduced to this technology about 2 years ago when Shimon Peres, the president of Israel, had this in his bed and would send me data every day about what happened the night before. And so to me, it was powerful. Thousands of miles away, I got a summary of what happened the night before. So thank you guys for what you do.
Well, thank you for having us and letting us share the story.
And my fertility is okay?
Your fertility is okay.
All right.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.